Hello! I'm Evocable Object 4, and today I'm actually planning on finishing this game. That way I can roll in with, more music, more, Tales of Link and whatnot, you know. So let's get started. After this conversation, we decided it was time to rest. Yes, I timed it right last time. Awesome. After a while, everyone went their own separate ways to find the least uncomfortable corners of the room and laid down on the ground. I glanced at them regularly and saw many people turning around every which way in hopes of finding some sleep. I wasn't very optimistic. I knew that as soon as I closed my eyes, the screams would return, the sparks. I didn't want to see them again. I knew what would await. Another sleepless night. Another in a long series. At least I wouldn't stand out of the crowd tomorrow morning. Nobody would know. Almost despite myself, I felt weariness filling me from the inside. I blinked, slower and slower. On the other side, there was darkness and fire. I saw the sand again, those dunes. I felt the blazing sun, the heavy air, the smell of petrification. My mind was uncontrollably attracted to this place. I tried to resist, but it was useless. I had been cursed with memory. I was in the middle of the desert, lost, powerless, as the scene passed before my eyes once again. No! I awoke from my dream with a start. It was the middle of the night, yet the scenery hadn't changed a bit. It was almost reassuring. Everyone else seemed to be sleeping. I envied their peaceful dreams. I wished I could be one of them. Slowly, carefully, I stood up and went to the bathroom. I had to relieve myself. This place is really depressing. I almost feel at home. As I rose from the toilet, I suddenly felt another presence, even though I hadn't heard anyone enter after me. Then there was a strange sound. I approached the door handle suspiciously to see what the commotion was, but I couldn't get out of the stall. I was locked in. Alone in a narrow place, I felt my heart beating faster and faster. I hated this feeling. It was the same as back then, the same despair in the face of death. Please, no, not that. Let me out. I don't want to be here. I was like a rat caught in a trap. Let me out. For the love of goodness sakes, I hate narrow places. I hammered on the door as forcefully as I could. It was no use. I had to find a way out, quickly. My hands were shaking. If I didn't get out soon, I'd have a panic attack and everyone would notice. I couldn't let them see me in this pitiful state. I had to find a way. Kick the lock! I tried kicking the lock with all my strength. The door went flying off the hinges with a loud bang, wide open at last. I rushed towards the mirror. I took some time to breathe, gripping the sides of the washstand. I couldn't quite comprehend what had happened, why I had seemingly trapped myself. Nothing felt real. Am I imagining things again? I was scared of myself, scared the others would see me, scared of going back to that place. I didn't want to be buried under the corpses of my companions again, to see their distorted faces, to hear them cursing me again. I knew I overreacted. I knew I shouldn't have, but deep down I couldn't prevent the insidious fear from eating me alive. I didn't want to relive this moment again, but the sensation of being trapped was ever present in this place. Everything here could trigger a panic attack. Narrow places, the sensation of being trapped, unable to move, the heavy air, the ruins. I had been on edge for several hours and tried my best not to show it, to forget it. But now that I was alone, everything was coming back again. It had to stop. Oh, right. I had almost forgotten. The doctor I saw earlier today had been checking how my new treatment was going. I wasn't used to it yet. He'd prescribed to me an antidepressant. I had to take it every day, starting with 50 grams, and then report to him if the dose was enough. It had been several days now since the beginning of my medical treatment. My memory was a mess. Had I even taken my daily dose yesterday? I searched through my pocket, pulled out my pack of pills, and engulfed one without thinking, before going back to my imaginary bed. And sure enough, I had a terrible night. The floor was cold and hard, so we practically broke our backs. The next morning, all of our bodies were sore. But even if I was at home, I still wouldn't have felt safe. Sure, the mattress would have been more comfortable, but that would be it. Because I dreamt of that place again. I heard the rifles, the explosions, and immediately I woke up. Soon after, weariness invaded my mind, and I fell asleep, returning there again, waking up again. It was always the same. After several cycles, I didn't know if I was awake or just dreaming that I was awake. Everything felt like the same, like a never-ending parade. Memories lined up, marching in my head one after the other. My thoughts, my fear, my uneasiness. I couldn't escape them. That was why I didn't realize what happened later. A strange sound woke me up. When I opened my eyes, I noticed I was lying on the ground, and the light at the end of the hallway dazzled me. There was a persistent buzzing sound coming from my pocket, most likely my cell phone. Then I remembered that my cell phone couldn't be ringing, as I had run out of battery a while ago. How could I be receiving a phone call now? What? I stared at the screen dumbfounded. The name that had appeared was that of someone I knew. But that couldn't be right. Couldn't be him. How was that possible? He was a close friend that I liked very much, and he died months ago when he put his foot on a landmine. The person who was calling me was dead. It couldn't be him. Surely someone had borrowed his cell phone somehow. It had to be a mistake. I decided to pick up the phone nonetheless, and brought it to my ears anxiously. Shh. You can't escape. Shh. Then there were only haunting, unearthly noises left on the other end of the phone. Unusual sounds, like if someone had really called me from hell. Scared, I cringed and dropped the cell phone, which crashed on the floor. I couldn't help but let out a small cry. I heard someone grumble behind me. I must have woken one of the other trapped people. Dots. Sorry, I had a nightmare. Dave turned around and walked away. I saw some of the others stretching out. They couldn't get back to sleep because of me. I went to the bathroom to relieve myself, certain that I wouldn't be able to sleep. When I came back, almost everyone was up. They all looked grumpy. It's no wonder after such a rough night. Plus, it was obvious that our hope of being rescued during the night was shattered. What's the rescue team doing? They should have been here long ago. Who knows? Maybe we're not that important to them. Or maybe something else happened on the surface while we're down here. Another disaster elsewhere that's keeping them busy? I would love to be able to drink coffee right now. Too bad there's just no dispenser near the bathroom. I'm sure it wouldn't have been working anyway. How unlucky for us. I'm sure some were even less lucky than us and were crushed by collapsing walls during the incident. Let's talk about something else. Yes, I agree. I too had to forget. That was the perfect time to chat with someone and erase my latest sleepless night. Talk to Hasten. I went to hasten, hoping he would help me pass the time. Hey there, what are you doing? So weird doing Hasten's run. I have not looked at any of Hasten's stuff at all. Dots. Hasten didn't reply. He was staring at the small notebook placed on the floor while holding a pen. Maybe he was too focused to hear me. Oh, you're drawing? Can I join you? Dots. Still not looking at me, he nodded silently, so I decided to keep him company. Hasten was a strange companion, but he was nice and had the prettiest smile I had ever seen. His drawings were really abstract, even for a kid, and I had trouble guessing what he was trying to do. Occasionally, I'd ask him questions, and he would direct me in his own way. Is that an animal? Dots. Hasten shook his head vigorously, which meant I was wrong. Is it a house, then? Well, I'm still failing. Hasten shook his head again. So far I hadn't gotten very far, so I asked for backup. Say, Alicia, would you happen to know what Hasten is drawing? I can't figure it out. Well, let's see. Ah, I knew it. He's not drawing. Oh. Well, I guess I'm an idiot for thinking he was drawing something. What? Yes, he's making a calendar. Well. Darn. Wow. A calendar? No wonder I couldn't guess the shape. Hasten loves to make calendars, plans, and rankings. He doesn't really draw. That could help him out later in life. That's unusual for a kid, but it's funny. At least he looks like he's having fun. Dots. Hasten seemed to put the final touch on his masterpiece and contemplated his work with a satisfied smile. I wish I got to see it. Suddenly he dropped his notebook and gesticulated. Okay, Dots. Ah, do you want your new snow globe? Hasten nodded as Alicia rummaged through her purse. She pulled a snow globe out of it and gave it to her son, who was clapping his hands. Dots! Oh, we get to see the snow globe, but we don't get to see what he drew, or the calendar. I guess it probably just looks like most calendars. As soon as he got the globe, Hasten didn't make his signature sounds anymore. He seemed focused on making the snow fall over and over again. It's his lucky charm. He can't be separated from it. Making the snow fall soothes him in a way. It's a gift I bought for him long ago. He looks so relaxed right now. Maybe I should try too. This snow globe seems magical. Maybe. After that, we left him alone and decided it was time to join the others. After spending some time chatting, we gathered again. The atmosphere was gloomy, to say the least. I'm hungry. I'm tired. Well, you can... How long will we have to stay here? You should all follow Hasten's example. He's the only one who hasn't complained so far. We won't achieve anything just by grumbling. Whoa. Dots. I guess you're finally in shape. You weren't that energetic this morning. Hey, I'm not perfect. I did say Hasten was the only one not complaining. I included myself in your bunch. Let's take our last meal then. It may help a little. Sorry, guys. Ugh. Golly, allergy season. Ugh. But I gotta finish off this game, so I don't have to worry about it. and can get to other stuff. Then I can hopefully finish off Tales of Link and songs, and it'll be magical. Like yesterday, each of us got half a biscuit and a portion of water, and there went our last rations. Since Hasten had a separate bottle, he still had some left, but it was obvious that it wouldn't last him long either. I'm still hungry. Of course you are. It's only half of a biscuit after all. I know it's not the most comfortable situation, but if we don't expend that much effort, it should be okay. I can't wait for the rescue team to come. I've got so much work to do at home. How can you think of work first? Or maybe family is work to him. I'm just kidding. Well, I had to work overtime these last days to finish on time. I can't let all that go to waste. I can handle hunger and fatigue, but the boredom will kill me first. I know. I have a deck of cards in my pocket. Let's play together. Good idea. And so we sat down in a circle to play cards. I wasn't exactly fond of card games, but I went along with them in order to occupy my mind. Adeline declared that Hasten would be the referee, which made him roar with laughter. Don't get fooled, folks. You have a pro in front of you. I'm unbeatable. We'll see about that. I must say I'm quite skilled myself. I'm pretty sure I can beat you. Yeah, right. Dream on, Sonny. It's been a while since I last played cards. I hope I'll do okay. Don't worry, the most important thing right now is to have fun, right, Hasten? Dots! See, he thinks so too. Let's wait for the rescue team while doing something for a change. And so we played together for hours while laughing. It really was a convivial moment. It made me think of my former comrades. When we had to go to war, there was always a period of calm. Either the higher-ups were thinking of a plan, or the enemies hadn't made a move yet because they didn't know how we'd react. But there were always times like these, when we were playing cards together, trying to forget the situation and have a good time. It wasn't much, yet this moment made me feel a little happy inside. More memories were coming back. Not the screams, but the laughter. Unless you consider some of those screams of laughter. It had been so long since I had felt that way. It was almost refreshing. Time flew by, and as she had predicted, Adeline defeated us hands down. She really was something. Losing interest, we finally split up and went about our own business. Adeline was trying to take a nap in a corner, while Alicia, Gabriel, and Dave chatted in another. As for me, I decided to play with Hasten. So you're using your small car again. Can I make vroom vroom too? Dots. I'm not doing the right thing, am I? Show me what you want me to do. Dots. I was trying to understand what Hasten was doing when I heard an exclamation. I turned around. Alicia seemed upset. What's wrong? It's gone! Gone! You lost something? Hasten's bottle of juice has disappeared. I put it in my purse. There's no way I dropped it. Someone must have taken it. Alicia stood up with a furious look on her face and shouted, "Who took Hasten's bottle? Tell me, it's not funny." "You all had your portions already. Taking the rations of a kid? Really? Have you no shame?" "Who did it? I want an answer." Audience, I'll let you look at other endings to figure out who did it. I might as well not spoil it. Everyone stared at each other with confusion. Maybe it's a misunderstanding and the bottle slipped somewhere. I'll help you find it. Me too. I'm sure it's somewhere. Gabriel and I decided to go looking for Hasten's missing bottle. Maybe he dropped it here. All of us have gone to the bathroom at some point. Maybe. Ah, look, Gabriel, below the washstand. Ah, you're right. Here it is. I picked up the bottle and immediately realized it was empty. It pained me to say so, but Alicia's fear may have been justified. Someone had drunk Hasten's last portion of juice. I'm sorry, Alicia. We did find the bottle in the bathroom, but it's empty. I knew it! Someone must have been thirsty. Who drank it? Calm down. Maybe Hasten drank it and didn't tell you. He wouldn't do that. I agree with that. Hasten is always asking Alicia when he needs something. But why? Actually, I don't hear him complaining. Why can't he say that something is wrong himself, huh? Alicia went red as a tomato and exploded. You could see tears in her eyes. Because he's a child with autism, you jerk. I'm sorry. Are you happy now? Happy? Just leave us alone. Dave suddenly gasped, embarrassed. Clearly didn't expect this and did his best to maintain his composure. I didn't know. It's not my fault. Oh yeah? It's not your fault? That's too easy. You don't have to know he's disabled to treat him properly, do you? Since the beginning, you've been picking on him. It's not his fault if he cannot make himself understood that easily. I bet you're the one who took his bottle, aren't you? You thought it was funny to steal something from a defenseless child. Is that it? It wasn't me, I swear. Why would I do that? And why are you blaming me? Gabriel did say at some point he was thirsty. Could have been him, too. Are you saying that I'm the culprit? I drank from Hasten's bottle? No, I just said it could have been you. Wait, why are you defensive all of a sudden? Are you the thief after all? What? How could I have done that? You went to the bathroom earlier. You could have stolen it then without us noticing. Oh yeah, with my wheelchair making that noise. You think you wouldn't have heard me pass by Alicia's purse? Not like I'd look very suspicious trying to bend down. You didn't think that through, did you? Well then, it could have been Agatha, Adeline, or even Alicia herself. Excuse me? Yeah, maybe you were thirsty too and took your son's portion. You're the only one that could have touched your own purse without looking suspicious after all. Then why would I have yelled, huh? I could have stayed quiet and nobody would have known. Well, see, don't try to find excuses. I know it's you. I swear I didn't do anything. The tension was palpable. I didn't know what to say, if anything. I felt powerless. Above all, I felt sad for Alicia and Hasten. Alicia was clearly infuriated. Dave had also gone too far by mocking the child all the time, but he cringed at his mistake. He didn't like looking like the villain. Adeline was quiet. I could see she was very sad, whereas Gabriel looked angry, as if almost on the verge of taking it out on someone. Take it out on the wall! Hasten had rushed to a corner of the room after the dispute and wouldn't move an inch from there. I could see him keeping his hands on his head, swinging his legs rhythmically. I guess it was his unique way of calming himself. I felt I understood his functioning a bit better now that I knew the right term. Hours passed by, with nobody daring to let slip a word. I couldn't bear a silence this heavy. I had to do something, else I'd become more agitated. Alicia had given Hasten something to soothe him, and she seemed a bit more composed than earlier. Maybe it was the right time to chat with someone and try to ease the tension. Talk with Hasten! I went to Hasten. I wanted to understand him better. He wasn't sitting in a corner as usual. He was flapping his arms like a bird while turning in circles. Huh. Hey, Hasten, can I join you? That actually sounds like a pretty awesome image of, everyone just flapping their arms in a circle. Thoughts. And so I mimicked him. I followed his steps while flapping my imaginary wings, trying to emulate the sound he made with his mouth. After a while of the same pattern over and over again, I grew a bit tired and had to stop. I had to admit, Hasten's moods helped me clear my mind. Say, Alicia, do you happen to know why he does that? I'm really curious. It's like some kind of code. Hasten is a riddle of his own. I have a theory, though. What is it? I think making repetitive patterns is a way to make him sort of I think making repetitive patterns is a way to make some sort of sense out of the chaos that is life. When you think about it, life is really a strange thing. Everything is so unpredictable, so unstable. You can be with someone, and then this person dies, and everything changes in a matter of seconds. Things are moving constantly. Even for neurotypical people like us, it's frightening. But since autistic people can be very sensitive, I think they're even more aware of this fact than us. So life is even more frightening for them. I'm sure this world doesn't make sense in their eyes. So they try to find comfort somewhere. They try to make some sense out of the chaos. Repetitive patterns or making lists are just different ways that they use to tidy the world up. It's interesting. Of course, every person with autism is different. That's why it's so enriching to stand alongside someone like Hasten. He has trouble talking, but he manages to still stay a lot. Don't you think? There's a rich world inside him. I need some liquids so I can continue talking. Lovely. It's true, and I can't help but notice he's the most cheerful person in the room. Just looking at him makes me feel somehow reassured. I thought he was shy at first, but now I think I understand him a bit better. I hope I'll be able to become his friend one day. That would be fantastic. After that, we left him alone and decided it was time to go to sleep. I couldn't help but feel that I'd learned a lot about my new companions, and that I was somehow getting closer to them. I was becoming useful again. It was a pleasant sensation, but a very fleeting one. As soon as it was time to rest, I was left alone, and everything crumbled. No matter how hard I tried to forget during the day, the night was never as merciful. I couldn't go to sleep to see those nagging nightmares again. War had left a deep injury in my heart, and nothing can ever stay as it was before that. That night I remembered what I had done. My unit had been sent to another country to bring civilization, they said. Their political leader was a dictator, they said. He had powerful weapons, they said. We weren't supposed to free the civilians from the evil man, to help them. I had enlisted in the army for one reason, to save people. I didn't save those people. I murdered them. There were no powerful weapons. We bombarded their cities, killing innocents and injuring children and elders alike. It wasn't to help them. It was so we could terrorize them. And we succeeded. They wouldn't dare approach us at first. Instead, they ran away each time they saw us. I didn't understand. I thought I was helping them, that they had nothing to fear. Then they began to rebel. They cursed us, they spat on us, and I finally understood. I understood that we were destroying their homes, killing their beloved, burying all they had ever loved. And I became disgusted at myself, disgusted at my superior, whom I had trusted. How could I ever be forgiven? Did I even deserve to lead a normal life? The dead must be mad at me. I was sure they didn't want me to be happy. And they were right. I didn't deserve to live as a normal human being after what I had done. This my mind knew all too well. My mind made me relive this nightmare for all eternity. It was my punishment, my atonement for my sin. Yet I couldn't live like this. The burden was too heavy to carry. I had to forget it in any possible way. I woke up in the middle of the night. Sorry, my animals. I woke up in the middle of the night, unable to go back to sleep. I went to the bathroom to relieve myself. As I entered, lost in my thoughts, I noticed an unusual smell, something like blood. When I looked at the mirror, I ended up stepping back immediately. Golly! There was a corpse inside the mirror, one of the soldiers. He was here to punish me, to be sure I would rot in hell just like him. You can't escape your fate. Panicked, I brought my hand to my mouth. I was breathing heavily. What do I do? I shattered the reflection with my hand. Blood poured out of my flesh wound, but I didn't feel a thing. The apparition was gone, and that was all that mattered to me at this moment. I fell to my knees, frightened. I'm not seeing things again, am I? It had to stop. I thought of my medicine again. I hadn't taken it that day. Now was the right time. Worn out by hunger and lack of sleep, I relieved myself and went to sleep right away. Now that I think about it, if I get these nightmares during the night, I probably should be taking these pills like before I go to bed, or maybe they take a couple hours to start up, maybe take them like a couple hours before bed. Just my thought. Once again, I had no rest that night, and unsurprisingly, I was scared of going to the bathroom again. Each time I have been there alone, I had been exposed to disturbing visions of war. I knew that nothing I saw in those visions was real, that it was just a dream, but it wasn't natural either. I was scared of myself, scared of those narrow confines. I wanted to escape so badly, turning over and over on the floor. I struggled with the demons within me. I didn't want to go to the bathroom alone, but I had to meet a natural need. I couldn't wait any longer. That's why the next morning, I entered the room with caution. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. I sighed with relief. Dots. As I was exiting the WC, something colorful drew my attention near the mirror. There was blood on the washstand. Probably because I injured myself yesterday night. I shrugged, trying to reassure myself when a flood of blood came out of the tap. The liquid was flowing at an incredible speed, making the washstand overflow with bright red. It squirted on me, and soon enough I had blood all over my body. Yet the flood didn't stop. I thought I was crazy. I couldn't compute what was going on. All that I could see was a huge pool of blood. Something inside me suddenly broke. I screamed with all my strength. Enough! Enough! I've had enough! I wasn't in control of my body anymore. I was crying my eyes out, shouting, knocking over everything that was in my way. I felt as if I wasn't inside my body anymore. I had become a spectator, and I was watching a puppet dance. I can't do this anymore. As I shook over and over, my field of vision became blurred, and I collapsed from exhaustion on the floor. Everything went black. When I finally resurfaced, I was in the same corridor as usual. Everyone was looking at me with serious expressions. I immediately understood. They had seen me. They knew. There was no use. I couldn't hide this pitiful state of mind anymore. Are you okay, Agatha? Yeah, thanks. I guess you all saw me. They nodded in silence. I felt incredibly ashamed. You were screaming so loudly. We all rushed in the bathroom to see what had happened. You had some kind of panic attack and injured yourself. You were lying on the floor, stiff. We thought you were dead. We carried you here because we didn't want you to catch a cold. Do you want to talk about it? Well, now that you've seen everything, I can't pretend anymore, can I? I have PTSD, ever since I came back from the war. Every time I see or hear something that reminds me of all the people who died around me, it makes me nervous and I end up having a panic attack. I also have nightmares every night, living the same horror again and again, so I barely sleep anymore. That's all. This place makes me feel unsafe, and I have trouble controlling my anxiety, so I finally broke down. At that moment, I couldn't manage to look at them in the eyes. Well, you could have told us sooner. Perhaps we could have helped you feel better. We'll let you rest, okay? But there's something else we need to know. Something else? Since we had to carry you, it fell down. I suddenly realized what they were talking about. Uncontrollable tears fall on the ground. Why do you have a gun on you? And why does my character not have crying animation, but Alicia had crying animation? Whatever. The words hurt. They hurt so badly, I couldn't hide anything anymore. It was too much to handle. After the war, I mean. I came back but felt empty and depressed. I couldn't sleep anymore. I couldn't escape the memories. I couldn't forget about myself either. I had killed. I wanted the pain to stop, so I bought a gun, illegally. You were going to put an end to my suffering. I was supposed to do it the day of the incident. I wanted to take one last stroll before pulling the trigger. How could I have known that there would be a terrorist attack and that I would be trapped here with you? I didn't say anything. I thought it would be better this way. They all sighed in unison. I couldn't begin to imagine what they were thinking. You should rest a bit, okay? We'll be here if you need something. We're keeping the gun, though. We don't want you to do anything reckless. Wait, please, don't leave me alone. Again! Okay. In case you're only here for the hasten ending, I won't spoil anything. But they didn't listen. They split up, leaving me behind. I felt so dirty, so ashamed. I had a terrible headache. Everything was screwed up. I looked at my pills while crying. Was this treatment even working? I didn't feel any better. It didn't erase the memories either. I sat silently for a while. I tried to remember how I got myself here and what went wrong. The incident was only the day before yesterday, yet felt like it took place ages ago, in another universe. Reflecting on this situation, I took a deep breath and closed my eyes. I think I'll always remember that day, even if I had lived through more perilous situations. This one held a special place in my heart. I remember everything so vividly because it was a human experience, an unconventional one at that, just like war, actually. Maybe it left a mark on me precisely because it reminded me of the war, of the pain, of the hopelessness, and also because it made me feel useful again. I thought I could help people, that I could be a functional human being again. But that may have been foolish of me. One can never return from hell. After all, never. Even so, I remember that day as a moment of hope. I tried to cling to that, convincing myself it was my last chance. Was it all in vain? Aye. At that moment, I opened my eyes. I didn't want to be alone anymore. Okay, with this, I am gonna save on file 4. Yeah. Save one more time for good measure. Lovely. And I'll see you guys in a few minutes because it doesn't take long for these to upload. So, bye.